Hello and welcome back to the Blackburn End Podcast. We've got another extra special for you this evening. As you will see, I'm not on my own. I will let them introduce themselves and where you can find their wonderful, highly recommended content.
You lie. It's okay. It's all very friendly so far. Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie. I'm the host and editor of the No Nay Never podcast, a reference you will all get quite comfortably. We have the original Burnley podcast. We've been around since our first promotion to the Premier League in 2009, 2010. If you search for No Nay Never on your usual providers, you will find us.
Yes, pinching our song. So, Natalie, we will we'll head forward to Saturday's game. So obviously what we're looking at really today is how you think you will line up. Obviously you've had a suspension for Hannibal. He's out for 3 games. Lyle Foster's coming back from injuries and he's been on the bench. So how you think your team will line up, and is that how you would like them to line up?
I think I was feeling relatively confident with how I thought we were going to line up until Parker decided to tweak it at the New Year's Day game against Stoke. It feels a little bit frustrating that just when we start to feel like we're getting somewhere with some consistency with the starting lineup and players playing in, their positions they're supposed to do, he starts tinkering again and puts the handbrakes on and starts getting nervous again. I think certainly from a defensive perspective, I fully expect the back five. So I fully expect that Perez will get dropped and Humphreys will come back in. So we'll have Trafford, Humphreys, Esteve, CG Egan Riley and Connor Roberts in the back. There's been some rumours that Connor Roberts might be on his way out. I don't think so. It might be going back to Swansea apparently in January, but who knows? I expect that to be the back four. You've got your stalwarts in midfield, Josh Cullen. I wonder whether he will go with all 3 Joshes in midfield, actually, if he feels like he wants to bring some real stability to that midfield. This feels like a game where playing Koleosho feels like a little bit of a luxury and feels a bit light. Not Koleosho, sorry. Sarmiento, sorry, wrong tricky player. Sarmiento's been playing very much as a number 10 for us recently, and he's great there. And in the absence of anybody better, it's been working. But it feels like a bit of a luxury player, and he's still, like, you feel like you're blowing him, he'll fall over. And this feels like a game where we need a little bit more physicality. So I kind of feel like he might play the 3 Joshes in midfield. He might go with Josh Lorraine, Brownhill and Cullen. Wingers, goodness me, no idea. I don't think you can drop Jayden Anthony at the moment, although I was kind of frustrated at the Stoke game because Jayden Anthony's been playing on the right for a while now and having some real success there and looking really comfortable. He started Koleosho against Stoke, who put him on the right and moved what's called Jayden Anthony to the left, and it nullified him from the game. So I'd quite like to see him back on the right again, just because I think he can create some chances for us. Up front, listen, your guess is as good as mine. It doesn't feel like we can keep anybody fit at the moment. We don't really have a prolific striker, and I think it's clear to anybody who's watched us this season that we've got a really bad problem up front. There's no goals in this side once the entire squad got sold in the summer. I feel like, I know Lyle Foster is coming back, but I don't know. I feel like he might start Jay. I don't know, just Jay gets his fixture and there's some experience there. And whilst, he's 34 now and he's not going to run for 90 minutes, feel like we might see Jay up front. I think the main one, just to answer your final question, I think that we don't really have a standout superstar in this side. It's certainly not like the side you faced 2 years ago. I think our defence are very, very good. So you're going to have to really, it took a wonder strike to breach it when you were at turf. So I suspect you're going to have to be really slick up front to breach it. I think Brownhill will run midfield and he's used to this fixture. So I'd say probably Brownhill. And if Fleming plays and he's on form, he's one to watch for as well. But there's not really a standout superstar in this side at the moment. It's very much a team. So it could be a really, really dull fixture. It could be really exciting. I don't know how you guys think. I can't I can't call this. It could be a 0-0 bow draw. It could be 4-0 to one of the sides. I don't know how this is going to go at all.
Yeah, I think it might be a tight affair. So in terms of Koleosho, he obviously, beginning of last season, was setting the world alight. He was playing on the left-hand side, I think, then. Got a bad injury. Why is he not been one of the ones that have sold? He was one of your standout performers early on last season. And why is he not setting the Championship alight?
I think probably one answers the other. I think the Premier League suits him more than the Championship does. I think the Premier League suits technically trickier players who can show off and showboat a little bit, because that's the kind of league that it is. The Championship's much more gritty and physical, and you've got to graft, and he isn't a grafter. I don't think he got sold in the summer, mainly because, I think he wanted to go. I think the long-term injury that he suffered just meant that he wasn't in the shop window, and he didn't quite have. And I think by the time he was trying to force a move, we'd already sold 456 million other players. So it was like, we really can't put an 11 out if you don't stay. And I just think the Championship just doesn't suit him. I think he tries to do too much. I think he tries to be too clever. I just don't think he understands that the Championship yet. You know, like you and I have watched Championship football for a long time. You know what the Championship is like. And I just don't think he's that kind of player. And I think that's why he's really struggling to find where he survives. I genuinely think he can't wait to get out of it. It's just not a league that suits his style at all.
Right. So in terms of the game then, so that's how we think you'll line up. How do you foresee, obviously you've said it's a difficult one to predict. I think the stats wise, it says at the moment we've lost 2 out of the last 10, and we've not had a game that's had more than 2 goals other than one of them. Very similar for yourselves. Obviously you conceded 9 goals, is it now? That's all?
9 yes, 9 all season, which is crazy.
And I don't think you've had more than 2 goals in a game for a while. You've certainly not conceded more than 1 in a game, have you? So
we've not conceded 1 in a game, I don't think, all season. We haven't scored more than 2 since the opening 2 fixture of the season, when we had the old Premier League squad. So this Championship squad hasn't scored more than 2, no.
So that means it's obviously going to be 4-4, which will be great news. But how do you see the game panning out in terms of patterns of play, and how will you approach the game, do you think?
We're actually playing a lot better away from home than we are at home. We've got a really weird problem at Turf.
Tremendous.
Sorry?
Tremendous news. Great. Yeah.
Sorry. But if you look at our, and it sounds bizarre, but we really, really struggled to break you down when you came to Turf. You defended really resiliently and really well. And we have a real problem. Everybody's just coming to Turf now and just stopping us play, just by being a wall, which is very much what you did very effectively. And whether it's a combination of the players that we've got or Scott Parker's tactics, we cannot break that down. Away from home, we're a lot less nervous. We play with a lot more freedom. The pressure's not on us to get a result. If you can get a point away from home in the Championship, that's a fantastic result. So we tend to be playing with a little bit more freedom, I think, than we are at home. The pressure's not on us. I think we will be very dominant in possession. I think the game will get interesting if you then decide that you want to be dominant in possession, or you try and open up the game a bit more and try and breach our defence. That will play right into our hands, and I think that's where we will do well. I know it sounds ridiculous, but and sounds very negative, but probably the best chance you've got of defeating us is just be stubborn and say, no, we're not. We're going to close. We're going to play very tight. We're going to play. We're not going to have possession. You can break us down. If you do that, and then maybe nick one on the break, that's how you beat us, for sure.
Yeah. And to be fair, that's a blueprint we've used against Leeds. It was obviously one we used against yourselves.
You played well against Leeds, by the way. I watched that game.
Yeah, it was forced somewhat, I think, wasn't it, against yourselves with the 10 men? But at Leeds at home in particular, I think that's how the game will be. I think we'll set up like that. Leeds yesterday, we were very much 2 walls and said, break us down if you can. Got the crowd on their back. But Leeds at home, we weren't just like that. It was a very even game. I think the game will be more like that, if I'm being honest. I think our biggest fear is if you get an early goal, then it's going to be a problem. If we can keep you
just from defensive perspective, I think that will be.
I think
we haven't been getting early goals though, so
hopefully not.
I wouldn't be surprised. 0-0, I think, will be by half term. Half term, school half time. So yeah, we'll see.
I'd take that. Right, Natalie, I'm going to put you on the spot. Last bit. What are you going for? Your prediction?
2-1 Burnley. You can't not back you. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm the kind of fan that predicts that we're going to win away at City in the Premier League. So don't take any. That's me being territorial. I will never, even when I really don't think in my head that we're going to win, my heart will always say that you have to back your boys. And so, 2-1. I think you will score against us, but I think we will score 2-1.
Okay. Well, I hope you're wrong in the nicest possible way, but thank you very much, Natalie.
You're welcome.
And I wish you all the very best for your life, but I don't wish you all the best for the season at all.
May I extend that same courtesy to you, sir? And best wishes to all your fans. One other thing I will say, and I will say this in our show as well, have a really safe game, everybody. This derby doesn't need to be what it was in the 90s. We're entering a new era of the East Lancs derby, and the last couple of games have just been fantastic and enjoyable, safe, competitive, really good humoured. Let's keep that going. This is a new era of the derby. Stay safe, stay away from any idiots, and let's have a really fantastic derby.
Here. Absolutely. Okay. Well, remember to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.